Sipping on my cup, got my photo. Sipping on my cup, got my photo. You know she love the camera. Snapping the picture the way she be moving, I love the camera.
So hey everyone, today we are at the Web3 meetup by Unifarm. So we have the growth and marketing team with us at Unifarm. So starting from the left, my left, we have Chanchal and nicknamed CC, and we have Shri, and we have also have Kapil. So like my first question to all of you would be like, so like have you worked in like Web2 startups or some corporate things before as well? So if yes, then how different was the growth team there and the growth team here at Unifarm?
Cool, I'll go ahead first. So yes, I have worked in this space for 8 odd years, right? From the looks of it, I'll not look so old per se, but yeah, I have like close to about 8 years of experience, and I have worked in Web2 startups in product and marketing. Having said that, I have done my own startup as well, and I have like 3 products in-house with my personal brand as well. So while we work on growth and marketing in a Web2 startup, what happens is you get access to anything and everything legally, right? When I say legally, it means that you can run a Facebook ad for like probably customer acquisition. You can run like a Twitter ad. You can probably do performance ads. You can technically buy backlinks. You can probably do any sort of marketing hack within the boundaries. That's what was the case with the Web2 ecosystem. But what happened was when I shifted to when I made a transition to Web3, what happened was all these channels actually failed. Facebook is not allowing you to do ads. Twitter is technically banning each and every account which is technically doing NFTs, selling their tokens and stuff like that. So you literally have to go to the first principles and understand why users will technically use your product. And just to give you an example, just think of how can you probably ask somebody to come on board and stake your tokens, specifically for Unifarm, right? One of the ways is you sell them the dream of becoming rich, or probably you sell them a way to probably earn passively, or you probably sell them the wave, the blockchain wave, but you sell them in such a way that they want to ride with you, right? That's one of the nascent or the initial ways that probably you can do. You probably create a community. You technically define events like we in partnership with community team and crypto me, which we made an impact of close to about $50,000 at any level. Probably getting a sanction at a startup for a $50,000 campaign, it's just impossible, and we did it with $1,800 in hand, right? So these are the hacks that needs to come up at a growth level, at a marketing level, which is technically different from Web2 ecosystem. Shri, you would like to add?
Sorry to interrupt. Like you mentioned, Chanchal, you mentioned a very important point there. So you talked about storytelling. You talked about selling a story. So my question to you is that what if your story hides the underlying the technology that is blockchain? Like people just want to get in for the profits or 10x or 100x their portfolio. Like how do you manage the storytelling part, and how do you manage the actual technology?
Sure. If you are a good storyteller, you will technically hide all of these things. That's like the goal. I mean, when a person sells you a home, let's say Lodha or let's say DLF, when they build a building, right? They sell you the dream of living in a posh society with like lookalike people who are like earning at your level and blah blah blah. They never tell you that it's like a 2 CR house. They never tell you like you have to pay close to about like 1 lakh EMIs on a monthly basis, right? The storytelling just does not do like justice to it. So the better storytelling is that they don't like understand that this is what they're doing. Ultimately, having said that, I mean, ultimately what will happen is capital. So we are in a society where greed is so eminent that nobody can probably not think about it while pursuing or doing anything or everything. let's say you are doing engineering, you think about X amount of getting in return. Let's say you are doing X any work, it has to be like supported with some sort of money, and that's why even if we do like a great storytelling, an income angle has to be there, at least for the Web3 space, which will make more sense. Obviously, you're making like a bigger, like for the greater good, we are doing a lot of things, but still, while we are making our storytelling, we try to see if at all it can make sense with the money part as well. So, I think this makes sense.
Sure, that was like really insightful answer. So, Shri, my question to you would be like, how did you find out about Unifarm, like, and how you started learning about all these concepts, like, like that seems like a lot of jargon to some non-tech people. Like, how did you learn all that?
So even I am not a technical person.
Right.
I did my graduation in aeronautics. I was preparing for civil services, and there I got to know about virtual currencies and blockchain. There I was very curious. Again, the money part comes over there. Just to make some part-time money, I started observing the market. I started learning what's the technologies and how to use it. No one came and taught me. Then it was only exchanges where people can trade. And again, after that, decentralized exchanges came, like Uniswap and all the other platforms. Again, there was no one to teach me. I learned it everything. I was part of other communities. I was watching a few YouTube videos and all. So I came to know about it. I started learning it on my own. So a self-taught guy actually. And then when it comes to Unifarm, so that there was a requirement for the community role at Unifarm long back. So I started as a community person, and then over the period of time I learned in and out of Unifarm, and I started adding value to the platform, and they have moved me to growth and marketing.
Right. Yeah. So, like, my next question to Kapil would be like, like, what are the challenges that you face? Like what part of learning that you did on the job, and how did you started like learning about these things, like blockchain and other things?
Okay, so I have been into the content marketing since 7 years so far. So I got introduced to this technology in 2018, and accidentally, like, I was looking for a job and I joined a startup that was a news platform about crypto and blockchain. So that was the first time I knew that something like this is going into the world. So that was the first time I got to know about it, and then I realized that how that this industry is growing like exponentially, very fast. So that was the first time I got to know about it. Then I switched to some other company. Then again, while I was looking for the job, so I got an offer from here, from Unifarm. So since like I was also one of the initial people that joined Unifarm, and since the beginning. So that was like a new product for me. Before I was working for a media agency. Now this was a product that I was working with. That is one of a kind of project in itself. So there was no information
Right.
over the internet about it. So I had to use it myself, and I was directly in touch to our founders who were like ready to teach me. So I was still thinking of it like, if I am going to make any transaction, I was asking questions like, where do I need to sign up and how these things work. So gradually I got to know about how like Web3 space works. We have the MetaMask wallet, and then we connect, and how these things go. So that was like has been my experience. So gradually I learned about it, like under the guidance of our founders, at the actual Web3 space, how it does work.
Like, amazing. So, like, one last question to all three of you. Like, I hear like the Web3 space is suffering a lot of tech people shortage. So, like, would all three of you are from non-tech part of Web3. So would you say that there is also a shortage of non-tech people, so that beginners who are not into tech they can also get into Web3, and they have
amazing opportunities in Web3 also? Definitely, I think so. the best place to start your career at the moment is in the Web3 space. That's what I keep telling all the other colleges where I technically am a panelist or interviewer. There, I do product interviews, mock interviews over there. So I do recommend as well, I do refer as well, and I technically, after knowing the first principle, I truly back that this is where, like, it's going to be like a great start if you start your career in Web3. At least now, when the era is to probably build.
Yeah, actually the main problem in Web3 is people are willing to join Web3 both in tech and non-tech, but they are not ready to understand what's Web3 actually. So you can only work comfortably and you can only give your best when you know what is it or you are working.
So like they are attracted by the the profits part, the 10x, but they are not willing to put in the work.
Exactly.
So like for our viewers, like these three people also wanted the profits, but they came for the profits and they stayed for the technology. So like that will be the most important thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So even to make money, you should learn it. So adding to the point that Chanchal has mentioned, when you ask like there are few things to hide, and when we promote you keep on hiding few things like the blockchain part of it. But the thing is, if you want to live that story, like the storytelling which we are doing, if you want to live that story, if you want to be a part of that story, you should learn blockchain then. So even without learning, you can't be a part of it. So that's the one thing. You want to make money, and if you don't want to learn what is Web3, you can't make it.
Right. So like Kapil, like what would your advice to people like that want to join the Web3 space in the content department?
In the content. So I totally agree with what Shri has mentioned recently. So there's a popular saying that it's just don't follow the hype, follow the numbers. So the people who follow the hype, they are most likely to just go with the flow, the instant emotions that are just circulating all around. So they are not following the numbers. Following the numbers includes the learning process. So, and also I think that it's about the interest. Like if a person is willing to put in, if he has some interest and he is willing to put in some efforts into it, so only then like it can make any impact, or it can make any impact. So it's interest plus efforts.
Right, amazing. So yeah, thank you all three of you for like arranging this awesome meetup, awesome Web3 meetup, and like I will add their links in the description, and make sure to check them out. Yeah, and and I hope Unifarm does these meetups more often. Yeah, thank you.
Surely.
So yes, we are decentralized as a platform. All our social links will be available from our website itself. You can try connecting us if at all you want to have a chat or conversation.
Sure.
Good.
I want you and only you. I got nothing left to